President Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
The biggest dickhead I know.
I second that.
Happy anniversary!
From the best news headquarters in the world, this is Breaking News, a recap. Wesley Newfarmer and Jessica Pratt.
Good evening and welcome to Breaking News, a recap. I'm Wesley Newfarmer, and I'm joined once again by my assistant anchor, Jessica Pratt. I never thought I would say this to a woman who wears slacks, but it's nice to have you back.
Wesley, it's those type of comments that I missed least while reporting abroad. However, it's good to be back in my rightful spot next to you as an equal here at the desk. Now, on with the news.
As part of the renovation and beautification of the White House this week, Donald Trump has fired Steve Bannon, his sexist, racist, homophobic, and outright foul-mouthed right-hand puppet master. This brings the number of high-ranking White House staffers who have left to 12. That's 3 less than a season of The Apprentice. NBC won't reveal who the winner is until 2020, but it's not hard to find who the losers are.
Pop superstar Taylor Swift has won her court case against a radio DJ who sexually assaulted her during a photo op. Swift was being sued by the DJ who had lost his job over the incident. She countersued him for the grand sum of $1. Here to speak to all the men of the world is our own Wesley Newfarmer.
Thank you, Jessica. Guys, join me in my office. Listen, I know what it's like to grow up in a society dominated by us, men who have never experienced racism or sexism in the workplace, by law enforcement, or by our own government. So I offer this piece of advice. Grow the up, recognize the world is bigger than you, get a grip on your hormones and your wandering hands, go home and watch porn on the internet like honorable adults. If you have problems, concerns, or questions about this, you can contact me directly at 202-688-1041.
Whoa. That's my phone number.
You'd be able to rip into these guys better than I ever could.
Thank you, Wesley. It's one of the nicest things you've ever said to me. In fashion news, khakis, polo shirts, tiki torches and Nazi flags were all the rage last week as Nazism tried to make a comeback. The US led the way with disgraceful scenes in Charlottesville, Virginia. Australia followed suit and Germany had their share of action as well. Here with a prepared statement to the privileged white men in our society is our own Wesley Newfarmer.
Thank you, Jessica. Guys, join me in my office. Listen, I know what it's like to grow up in a society dominated by us, white men who have never had to experience racism or sexism in the workplace, by law enforcement, or by our own government. So I offer this piece of advice. Grow the up, recognize the world is bigger than you, get a refund for your Donald Trump clothes and your guns, go home and teach your kids some history like honorable adults. If you have problems, concerns, or questions about this, you can contact me directly at 202-688...
Whoa.
What?
Really?
I'll be damned if I'm gonna have those crazy nutjobs come after me.
Wesley, it's one of the nicest things anybody's ever said to me. Q.
I know where my bread is buttered. Speaking of which, did you happen to make me that sandwich earlier? The Australian Catholic Church has said that if gay marriage is legalized in the coming months, employees who marry their same-sex partners may be fired. Here with her view is our former potential nun, Jessica Pratt.
Thanks, Wesley. I am a Catholic. In fact, I'm so Catholic that at one point I was considering joining the Loretto Sisters, which surprisingly isn't an Italian doo-wop group from the 60s, but rather an order of nuns in Melbourne. I'm also a musical theatre nerd, which means I grew up with a lot of gay friends. Yes, some stereotypes are true. My friends are amazingly kind, generous human beings, and you know who else was kind and generous? Apparently the dude all us Catholics follow, Jesus. As Catholics, the most important lesson Jesus taught us is love one another as I have loved you. It's okay if you're sick, poor, gay, a hooker, a gay hooker, even a banker or a lawyer. It's all fine with him. Oh, except pedophiles, and in retrospect, he probably should have made that point a little clearer to his followers. But the point is to love one another. The Catholic Church has got enough on their plate at the moment without adding gay bashing to their agenda. Homophobic messages and threatening people's careers is not showing love to anyone. You don't have to marry same-sex couples. You never used to marry interracial couples, divorced couples, or couples who already have kids, but you should allow your employees the basic human right to live by the laws of the land. As the Mother Mary once said to a possibly high Paul McCartney, speaking words of wisdom, let it be.
In science news, the solar eclipse took over took over the United States on Monday. And here to tell us all about it is our resident sports reporter, Kirin Hilliar.
Thank you, Jessica and Wesley. Just quickly before we start, is there a reason why I'm in the dark?
It's to give our viewers a chance to experience the solar eclipse for themselves.
This is kind of extreme, don't you think?
No, I think it's quite adequate. Carry on.
On Monday, citizens in North America were privileged to see a total eclipse of the sun.
Turn around.
Every now and then I get a little bit terrified and then I see the...
If I have to hear that song one more time... The momentous occasion saw the moon pass between the Earth and the sun, and the whole event lasted close to 3 hours.
That wasn't the only thing to last 3 hours on Monday, I can tell you that, if you know what I mean. Cialis. Ask your doctor if you're...
Those who missed out on seeing the eclipse will have to wait until 2020 for the next one, set to take place in Temuco, Chile. Back to you, Wesley and Jessica.
Thank you, Kirin.
Can I get some lights on now?
Wesley, do you hear something? No, nothing. On to the weather. In Australia, flights were cancelled and buildings were battered in cyclonic winds and storms which hit the east coast.
While in the US, it was a bright and sunny day when President Trump set a wonderful example for the children by staring directly into the sun before the eclipse.
Meanwhile, in the Middle East, it's hot. How hot? Well, let's check in with Kirin, who has got her wish and can see again.
Jessica, I promise I won't try and steal your job again. Just please, let me back in. Oh, it's so hot.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you liked our show, please click like, comment, and share amongst your friends. If you didn't, maybe this will help.
You want a revolution? I want a revelation. So listen to my declaration. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Tune in next time for more breaking news a few days after it actually happens. Here, I brought you an anniversary gift.
First anniversary paper. The LG washing machine user's manual.
Yeah, my machine's broken.
Oh, it's in Spanish as well.